Hi, loving friends. It's Chris here from Miraculite. Thank you for joining me here today, and thank you for being here today. Today, we're going to talk about ego. So I'll let you know my little friend wants to join me here today, and this crystal here is called an ametrine. Okay, it's got amethyst and citrine. It's a magician's tool. It's to help harness the power of all that is, the power of crystals, Divine One. And it will join us for this wisdom that we share today with you. So thank you for being here today. So today we're going to talk about what is ego. What is ego? Well, what is ego? Do you know what ego is? Now, there's many beautiful interpretations of ego, and they're all beautiful. So your ego is your friend. That's what I want to come here and talk about today. Is that your ego, that you may be deemed wrong or gross or bad, is your friend. It's your ally, okay? Your ego is a part of the self, and your ego is put in place by you. That's right, by you, right? To protect the inner child within from any mental, emotional, physical, spiritual trauma and pain. It'll happen when you're a child, and it happens when you're a teenager and adult, and it comes in to protect you, to save the day, okay? So your ego, right, was created from the birth of survival, from the birth of your survival. Your ego was created. So born through the mind of man for survival, right? You see, when you were created, you did not have an ego. You did not know limitation, hardship, war, hate, or death. So you came here to learn, right? You came here to learn to transform this realm of pain into love. You learn how to go from pure love to forget who you are to rising in love again. Bless the ego. The ego is your friend, who is an aspect of you. It's an aspect of you, okay? So bless the ego. Do not punish the ego or shame the negative ego or shame your ego, but instead integrate the ego with you, right? Like one. Integrate as a one, like an aspect of one, and rise into the holy self, the holy Christ self. All right? Does that kind of make sense? So when you're in ego power, the ego acts as a messenger. You see, the ego carries messages of what is going on in the outside world into the inside self, then retrieves those messages from the inside self, then carry them to the outside world. Your ego is a tool, not a leader of interpreting messages. A lot of us let our ego run the show and lead with interpretation. It's like we have these fear hardwiring synapses going through our brain that go past all logical reasoning, and the ego holds on to these, and it carries these messages, and they go right through fear, and fight or flight responses kick in automatically. Although when we heal all these traumas and pain, and we let ego lead, stop ego from leading as a bulldog, it has great intellect, great processing tools to incorporate at the nights of the round when everything is together. But to let the ego run on fears and avoidance and pain, well, that's gonna be a messenger that will create a lot of fight or flight in your life. So we tend to label the ego altogether as negative and bad. Once we discover ego and label it the negative ego, we seem to set out in life and find ways to destroy it. We want to destroy it, right? I want to destroy my ego. Why are you in healing class today? I want to find ways to destroy my ego and conquer my ego and beat my ego. You know what I mean? Well, that's definitely not going to work. You know what I mean? We go to healing classes, read self-help books, we take seminars, workshops, breathing exercises, yoga, anything to beat and destroy and finally conquer our ego. Any way to finally break free of our negative ego we've labeled bad. To conquer our ego, or to completely eliminate and destroy ego altogether. I don't have an ego. Yeah, they have a spiritual ego that's very rampant and high. I wish to inform you that no matter what we tend to do, whether we geographically move, switch jobs, choose a different partner, take healing classes, read all the self-help books you can find, meditate, be mindful, right? Do deep healing. The ego is still right there. Whether it's a spiritual ego, a negative ego, it's still there. I don't have an ego. But they do, you know? In your face saying such things as, you can't do that. That'd be ego, right? You'll fail. You suck. You can't do anything right. They don't like you. Don't even try. You failed last time. You're going to fail this time, right? Don't listen to the heart. Listen to me, the ego will say. Heart's going to hurt too much in our relationship. Better listen to me. I warned you. I'm warning you. Or you suck. You can't do anything right. They don't like that. Don't try, okay? You failed last time. They will get you. I promise you they'll get you. They will use you up and spit you out. They're talking about you. They're going to reject you. They're going to deny you. They're going to abandon you. They're not going to accept you. You better control the situation right now to feel safe. Don't make them angry. You better be like them. Seek approval and acceptance, right? Seek revenge. Seek power. Seek freedom. Seek self-pity. Play damsel in distress. Play it safe. Get even. Shut down. Never admit you're wrong. Emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual punishing and abusing of others. Yeah, there's an ego there. So when we attempt to control everything, we cut the power of the soul off. Yeah, we're not even taught about the power of the soul here. The soul is kind of like shamed. It's kind of like the afterlife, passe. Don't even talk about the soul. You know what I mean? But everybody kind of is in the ego. Well, mostly everybody is in the ego part of ourselves. An aspect of our protector part of ourselves that we think is going to protect us, but just limits us and leads us in a corner. Or we do end up achieving success, but based on negative ambition. So when we attempt to control everything, we cut the power of the soul off. We cut spirit, unconscious mind, heart, and higher self off from fully assisting us. That's right, you're all on your own. You're like, I can't hear God. Where's God? How come God's not helping me through all this pain in my life? How come all this stuff is happening? Well, the more you suppress unhealthy anger, the more you suppress your shame, the more you suppress your negative emotions, the more you deem parts of yourself ugly, bad, and disgusting, you distance yourself from Creator, then you can't hear. You can't hear the angels. You see, they're operating at a higher frequency. When you're using ego, you're definitely not going to hear them or see them. But when you're operating with your common senses, your clairvoyance, sentience, cognizance, and audience, when you're operating from those senses and you raise your frequency, then you'll see these beings of light. So when we attempt to control everything, right? This is when we cut the power of soul off. Now, the soul has great wisdom for us, great powers from all the lifetimes. So your spirit, your drive, your unseen friends, your team, your holy child, your inner child, they all have powers to assist you through this transitioning of this awakening happening right now. But if you're just going to let the ego, you're not going to solve the problems it created in the first place, right? So if we attempt to control everything, person, place, and situation or thing from ego, then spirit, soul, and unconscious mind, higher self will back off. They'll back off. So that you can control the situation. I can control the situation one last time. You know what I mean? You ever gone to those kind of the fall fairs or the fairs? Come on, batter up, come on, swing, batter up, come on, you can hit it, come on, you can hit it, throw harder, throw to the left more, throw to the right more, come on, you gotta throw it, you're throwing too slow, too fast, come on, you can do it one more time, control the situation one more time, control it one more time and you will hit it. And you never do. But when you just randomly throw it, I remember my wife would just randomly throw it and she would definitely hit it, but I was trying to control the perfect aim, it wouldn't work. But just randomly, trusting and throwing would work. So why? So you can learn, right? You're here to learn, so this way of controlling. You'll feel alone when you're controlling. But soon enough, you will see it just will not work out for you. It won't. You can try. But eventually you'll avoid confrontation, avoid rejection, avoid seek approval, seek acceptance, shutting down. I feel like I can use my voice and all blocked up, stuffed in a corner somewhere. Feeling self-pity and sorry for yourself. That's your ego putting yourself there. So you see it just won't work for you, right? It's just not going to work anymore for you. The way you truly like it to be. But they let you experience this anyways, right? So you're here to have the perfection of experiencing, the perfection of learning, the perfection of evolving into the greatest version of yourself, Divine One. Okay, so you're here to experience ego and limitation and different aspects of yourself, right? And if you want to get lost in ego and ego's limited desires and ego temptations and unprocessed anger and shame, guilt, pain, and process fantasies of the ego and things that think make the ego happy and confusion of love, well, you're going to be not lost, you're not broken, you're just drifting. You're drifting. And eventually you'll find yourself home like a GPS unit, right? But we don't want to allow the ego to run the show, to control our life. So a piece of beautiful wisdom, divine being, is you cannot destroy that which you are. Everybody's trying to destroy the ego, you can't destroy it. However, the tool of the ego is beautiful. Once you get past the whole spiritual ego, I'm awake and they're not awake and I'm better. There's a whole kinds of levels of going through the ego when you're awakening. You get mad at everybody first for what they're doing and they're not getting it. And everybody goes through those phases of power struggle, I'm better, you got to believe what I believe in. This is a spiritual ego, but you get past that eventually. You get this compassion part. Compassion is the highest form of knowledge, Divine One. Right? So this means you can't destroy it. So meaning, dear one, an aspect of you that you and the collective have labeled bad and wrong, get rid of, destroy the ego, kill the ego, is actually a part that makes up the whole. Right? It makes up the whole, Divine One. that makes up the whole. So the beautiful you coming into wholeness. You see, you come into this world, the great limitless being that you are, Divine One. The great being and master that you are. You come into this realm, Divine One. And you learn about how to rise up again into your own soul power, into your goddess power. You're learning about ego power. And that's a beautiful thing. And how ego wants to avoid, how it wants to shut down, not make people angry, seek approval, seek acceptance. It has many payoffs, right? And it ends up leaving you just kind of helpless and impotent and separate and never happy, never will be. Makes you want to run, but you can't. You feel overwhelmed all the time. You feel jealous. You feel like, you watch things fail in your life because, it's going to fail. It's always going to fail. It's too much competition. It's too hard. It's lack. God's not there for me. I feel like I can't be helped anymore. And the world needs to fix before I can fix myself. You know what I mean? We come up with all kinds of excuses for ourselves when we're in ego. But that's just a safeguard to protect ourselves because we buried our true power back when we split. We split because we don't know how to deal with the pain, the shame that was happening in our life. So we split, take ego power, right? So as we enter this world, and as we approach the age of 18 months to 36 months, we learn about ego power, the terrible twos. You know what the terrible twos are, right? That's your emotional born phase. That's where the ego comes in, Divine Ones. Okay, they're not terrible twos. That's just a misconception, a misunderstanding that we have here. So this is the emotional born phase, and here we learn how not to make mom angry. We learn about unhealthy anger. We learn about shame taxes. We learn about guilt. We learn about fear. We learn about power of self-centeredness, self-importance, victim, martyr. Did not get enough love. Mom didn't give me enough love. I didn't get enough love. No one loves me. Defensiveness shut down. Oh, the world is so... We learn about shame and pain and all the unhealthy emotions and all the beautiful emotions. You're here to experience the richness of emotions, and you experience them all in the emotional born phase. So the one in your head that says you can do it? Work harder. You're not doing it right. Do it this way. It says try harder. Organize better. It's worth a try. Work smarter. Work faster. Focus. Get it right. Got to know everything. Don't make mistakes. No time for errors. Do not want to fail right now. You may be homeless. Don't be like that guy over there. If you don't do it right, people laugh at you and mock you. There's lots riding on this right now, so don't make a mistake. Right? Just once, maybe you can make, but won't be okay if you friggin' up. You know the one, the self-motivator, self-punisher, self-sabotager, self-defeater, criticizer, and analyzer. Uses fear to motivate, uses shame to motivate, uses guilt to motivate, uses all those parts of yourself to motivate you, because that's what you're learning here. You're learning about the ego power, and mostly everybody operates in the ego power. We have a whole friggin' planet operating almost in ego power consciousness. It's forced and enslaved, and they indoctrinate into us to use this part by shaming us. And so we break. They want us to all break from our heart power and our soul power. Syrian love, galactic council of light, divine beings that you are. So what happens, maybe we want to do the self-defeater and critical analysis, right? So maybe to make up for lost time, you feel you need to catch up, maybe. Maybe you feel you're getting too old, so you better be prepared, you better work harder, and you just fear to motivate yourself, right? Maybe you're constantly organizing, preparing for the perfect love to come in, but it's just not coming in. Everything has to be right before I let love in. That's just the pain from the child that you broke in the first place. You heal that, and the love comes in. Maybe you're working harder and harder and harder to make mom and dad proud of the negative ambition. How's that going for you? You ain't going to get the love then. You didn't get the love then. You ain't going to get love now. That's what you love in yourself, Divine One. And knowing you put ego in there based on maybe you want to seek approval, acceptance of your mom. Maybe you want to be like your mom, so you use the ego to clone and be like your mom based on shame. Whatever it is. Whatever's driving force for this completion process. Why do you want to hold on to ego? What guarantees you're getting for ego? Ego's a beautiful part of you. And these tools that you learned right now and all these aspects that I've talked about so far, they're beautiful things. And you can say, yeah, ego, I understand you and listen to you. I'm not shaming you or mad at you. I understand that, but it always leads to rejection and fear and not getting what it is I need in life. And I always go less and don't do anything. So I'm not going to listen to that one today, but I understand what you're saying, right? So you know the ego power I'm talking about. We use this power to get more love, acceptance, to be needed, to be proved, to get attention. And how many of you do that? Me. Me. Do you know what I mean? I've helped thousands of people, and it's been me on thousands of people. So we see our moms and dads are most likely using their ego power. Dad, mom, children. Their children most likely raised by children. Raised by teenagers at best. You know what I mean? Still stuck in ego power. You know what I mean? We see friends, relatives, others in ego power. We experience abandonment, shame, rejection, shame, right? Denial, shame, fear, pain, guilt, and how they on trauma, beatings, right? These are the gateways to separation, not drugs, not alcohol. The trauma, the abuse, the abandonment, these are gateways to separation. Where you separate yourself and ego takes over and the ego can't handle the world, so it ends up using drugs and alcohol to cope with it. Now, if we learned proper coping skills, and we would rise into the soul power and know how to deal with all the situations happening in life. I remember quitting smoking. If this world be nice to me one day so I can quit smoking, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? You find the power to quit smoking, and you find your coping skills, and then you quit smoking. Do you know what I mean? Well, it's not going to be easy on you for one day. Life is your friend. I mean, ego's now, right? So what happens is we get this ego power. Ego is now the bulldog, the protector of your soul, the protector of your inner child, the protector of everything else. It won't let anything else in, and nothing even get to this part. Well, narcissist, protection, defense mechanisms, anything to protect this part of yourself from getting in the heart and opening your heart. People do whatever they can to keep these walls up and these shields up, so nothing gets into that place where the pain is, because they know how to heal the pain before. What happens if you know how to heal shame? What happens if you know how to heal unprocessed anger? What happens if you know how to heal guilt and fear? Then you would have to keep up the ego guard and the ego wall and the ego prison you're in. The prison by your own design. The ego builds with payoffs and locks you away, Divine One. So it's not your fault. You did not know better, okay? You probably had children, if not adolescent at best, as parents for yourself. Locked in negative ego, pushing their shame, inadequacies, guilt, fear, unhealthy anger, and pain onto you. You had to probably not only parent yourself, but you had to parent your parents at a very young age. Maybe you had to hurry up and grow up. Maybe you missed out on your innocence. Maybe something happened very young. Someone passed away in the family and your house and had all this responsibility. All of a sudden maybe the dad wasn't there and you had to be the father of the house. You had to grow up really quick. You missed your innocence. So the ego comes in, all right? I'm here to protect you. I'll save you, all right? The child, this child in pain is inside you now. A living flesh and blood part of you, all right? This part of you where you split is inside of you. What I'm saying here is if you want to destroy the ego, you can't. It's an endless battle. The ego will win. But beautiful being, you can grow wise today in this moment. And you can now integrate the ego as a whole within the beingness that is you, Divine One. Like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. King Arthur listened to the opinions, the ideas, the dreams, the visions, the concepts, their bounty, their dignity, their magnificence, their strategies. Even Merlin was there, right? Not Shame the healers, but Merlin the magician was there. You know what I mean? And everybody, even the servants, right? Even his wife was there. And he listened to all aspects and all perspectives of this. That is this Knight of the Round. And if you just lead with the ego, that's the only one, the only opinion that matters. And the whole system teaches based on ego consciousness. Now, when we integrate the soul and the higher self and inner child aspects of ourselves, we get a unity consciousness. We can tap into more holistic aspects of ourselves. And the ego still has an input, but you don't just always listen to the input of the ego. You listen to God, Goddess, because you raise your frequency, right? So when you do this is how you get Creator's Truth. Creator's Truth is incorporating all aspects of your multidimensional self, all personalities of yourself together, and then you form Creator's Truth by acknowledging and accepting other people's truths and images. And wherever they are at their ascension, you're no more higher than or below them. We're all together, and this is one, Divine Ones. We're all here learning. You're in a school about you. You're here to reveal you. You're here to learn everything about you. Why you sabotage yourself. Why you give up on yourself. These are all ego-based so that you can understand, so you can liberate yourself and transcend yourself and rise into revelation of yourself. All opinions matter, Divine One. No matter whose opinion it is, it matters. Because when you put that opinion in, it forms something. Maybe it may not mean something important in this moment, but maybe after you get 20, that will make sense, and it will plug in a piece of the pie which will make Creator's Truth, because you'll consider that option. Yeah, I'll put that option in. So all truths matter. Your truth is the embodiment of power entity, right? Your truth is your embodiment of power. Your power. Your truth matters. And whatever you have to share matters. It is your truth, and it is beautiful. It is perfect. You're unfolding, and your truth may change tomorrow, but that's beautiful. You're unfolding perfectly, divine being that you are. If we just let ego run the show, we're letting the other 99% of us just sit there and twiddle their thumbs. This part of you hiding from pain, rejection, abandonment, hurt, pain is the real you, the whole you, the power you, the soul you. Once you get this part of yourself, you start to unlock all the other gates and portals of all parts of your multidimensional self. But you split yourself and only took the one ego consciousness. So you want to transform or transcend your labeled limited negative ego into an enlightened ego. Not like a I don't know, a lightened ego that's still ignorant and arrogant, like those teenagers, right? Not all teenagers like that, of course, but I was one of them. By rising unified self, ego is one at the round table now. So unified self is not just ego or limited self, higher self. The unified self is all aspects of the self, including your ego, okay? Unified self, all selves, ego. Stop trying to destroy a part of yourself when it is a part of the whole. Sometimes we abandon parts of ourselves because our mom shames it, our dad shames it, our parts of ourselves, our society shames it, or maybe our religion shames it, our parts, whatever it is, their culture shames it. So what it is, we break and we get rid of that personality. We get rid of that part of ourselves. And then we go around this kind of avatar of ego and we just feel depressed. Well, because you're living a fake life. You're tired of living that kind of costume. I pretend to be someone you're not. Based on payoffs. So when we unencumber ourselves, we then rise into our soul power. When our soul power, we can ask our ego to step down off the mound, right? Off the mound of our broken dreams and control and the beingness that is you, Divine One. So your soul will relearn and regrow into position of the Master's chair within you as you learn to unencumber and heal the child within. As you work with your child within. As you heal your child within. Speak of the beautiful healing that will bring this beautiful child within. So by healing the child within, we release the grip of the ego. We release the grip of ego and control, and in turn you rise in by facing yourself. You're here to face yourself by unencumbering ourselves. When pain comes up, when fear comes up, we try to run or avoid it with the ego. The means is going to come back again, twice hard, and slap you in the face again. You can't run from yourself. You can't geographically move from yourself. You can't change relationships from yourself. So the sooner you face yourself, the sooner you can transcend your ego to join you as the knights of the round. It's about you taking the Master's chair within, the Lord God, Goddess of your being, not your ego running the show, all fearful, trying to prove your worth. When if God loves you, God, Goddess loves you. We live in a culture that has broke you, but you're not broken, you're just rediscovering yourself. Everything is perfectly unfolding, Divine One. So here, Divine Ones, is where we heal the wounds and let the child out from hiding, all right? Heal the shadows of the past by diving in the womb of your shadows. Surrender your ego, surrender, right? And think about vulnerability as a strength, not as a weakness. A vulnerability is where your power is born, and then you can let go of your suppressed anger, Divine Ones. So by surrendering, we give birth to our true power, our soul power. If you use ego power, you're here to learn about power, right? So let me know how that's going for you. So here, Divine Ones, you heal the wounds and you let the child out from hiding. Can you do that? Can you heal your wounds and let the child out from hiding? For you see, Divine Ones, we are naturally passionate. You're naturally passionate, creative, and imaginative beings. And when we are truly free from the dominant ego enslavement, control, fear, lack, letdowns, disappointments, shame, unhealthy anger, suppressed anger, guilt, suppressed unhealthy anger, guilt, self-punishment, self-pity, martyr, victim, I can't do it, I'm not ready, you got the wrong person, from others and our own self-confinements, we then have room to create. You create. To listen to the soul's imagination, that's passion. When you're running in the ego, you block this passion, you block this creativity, you block this imagination to ignite this way of speaking to the soul. Our soul has been found. Our soul has been shamed. It brings back the power of the soul. Not to shame the ego, but to unify, because that's a beautiful part of yourself. So make room to create with the ego, not to shame and punish the ego or destroy the ego. And you will expand in God, Goddess consciousness, and you will have Creator's truth. Do you understand, Divine Ones, what I'm sharing with you today, beautiful souls that you are? Beautiful beings that you are. You're here to learn about ego. You're here to learn about pain, shame, unhealthy anger, guilt, and this patterns of destructive behavior, inherited dysfunction, and rise up out of it. Unencumber yourself. Heal your shadows. Merge with your soul and inner child in healing unseen friends. And keep ego with you as a beautiful companion of love. Searing the mirror in love, galactic council of light. Blessings, divine beings that you are. You're worthy of what you seek. Your ego is your friend, yeah. Hope you have yourself a beautiful day. Blessings, Chris from Alec Light. Over and out.